Hey y'all, Mike with Cardboard Kingdom. Welcome back to another Disney Lorcana video. We've got another day here covering the market, more releases, cards going crazy, continued buyouts. So let's keep the momentum going here. Very exciting time. If I mentioned that I love reveal season, just so much fun. So this one's kind of hot off the press. Floodborn Judy Hopps here, lead detective, beefy 6-drop, shift 4 for Sapphire, and it also is beefing up detectives. So cards with the detective keyword are getting buffed. They get alert and resist +2. Obviously, we talked yesterday about my boy Mickey. I think that Judy Hopps card is pretty hot off the press, so that's not even baked into the price of the Mickey getting some additional detective support here. But 75 sold yesterday of the promos just off the back of that announcement of him being reprinted with the new artwork, and there is only 28 on the market right now. Lowest on the market is $6.39. If we look, just over the span of 6 months, the cheapest this card got was about $2. And it is up to $6.39. So once again, just another example of if you're able to apply a decent little time sample here and buy some cards that you like, you've got a decent chance of that card going up in value, especially if you focus on the ones with a little bit more rarity and scarcity. We do have some Whispers in the Well cards that are already up for pre-sale, which, to each their own. Some of these stores, Tournament City here, they're a Wizards Play Network store, they're an official hobby store, so they're definitely going to get some sort of allocation for Whispers in the Well. I guess they're just banking on getting, these cards, but 4 Cinderellas have already sold at $50 a pop. So someone got their playset, so they are banking on, this little Cinderella being a core card in their deck. They've already got their playset at $50 a pop. So there you go. Some early bids on Cinderella Dream Come True. Very good card, no doubt about it. But we've already got legendaries for Whispers in the Well selling at $50, which, guys, if this is the case, we are going to be cooking with gasoline for Whispers in the Well, especially if some of these rumors about 6 iconics and they do start to partner up. Like, for example, we've got the Ariel already. If we get the Ursula to kind of like make a joint scene there or something like that, it's Whispers in the Well. It's got some massive potential here. We'll see if that comes to fruition. It very well might just be the Ariel and the Hades. But if we do get some more iconics and they do have those extended arts in combination with the shifts they've already made with the Enchanteds, the Epics, Whispers in the Well, it's got a lot of potential, especially in a world where legendaries are already selling for $50 a pop, and we have some listed for $65 and $85. I would advise waiting on that front. We haven't seen an $85 legendary. I think maybe Shark hit that for like a minute. But beyond that, no $80 legendaries. That's a little too rich for even my blood. Another card that is moving like crazy: Mickey Mouse Brave Little Prince, our iconic Brave Little Prince here. This obviously being the traditional version. Had 192 sold just in the last couple days. It is up to $20. Hey, that's my listing there. I didn't know I had another one. I sold one earlier. So this is just, it's gone. Oh no, there it is. Okay. So this is a testament to, once again, just like not selling cards as soon as you open them for whatever they're going for. This card at release, it got as cheap as $3.25. If I'm opening a brand new set like Fabled in this case, and legendaries are going for $3, there's no way that I'm selling them, right? I'm going to list them at a price that I would feel comfortable selling them at. And if they don't get there, fine, I'll hold it. I'll keep that $3 and I'll just hold on to that card. In this case, it was going for $5. I said, hey, this is a Mickey. It's got an iconic variant. It's a brand new set. It seems like it's got potential in terms of its stats and its effect. I listed it for 20, got notifications that it was selling for 20, and I had sold a copy of it. So this is, once again, just another example of, guys, when I'm telling you, you can't just open this product and start listing everything. If you're gonna play this game, you have to be able to stick around for a little bit. You have to realize that sometimes these legendaries they're going for like $1, right? And at that point, is it worth it to sell it for $1? Just hold on to it and wait till it goes to 20. Obviously, not every legendary is going to go to 20, and that's why I encourage everyone to at least learn the game. Even if you're just a collector, you need to learn what these cards mean, so that way you can read them and say, hey, there's probably a world where this has a pretty big impact in the game. We know legendaries can get up to $50, $60 in a hurry, so why would I sell this one for $3 probably going to hold on to it, list it for 20, and here we are, right? I'm selling copies for $20 now. When I listed it, it was going for, 3 to 5. So that's just another testament to, like, don't just like list every card you get, like set some aside, learn the game, learn what the potential of these cards are, and it's going to lead to some additional success for you. With that being said, we have not seen this carry over to our iconic boy here. Who's going to be the first crazy person? I want the DLC Milwaukee. I need someone with 4 iconic, Mickey Mouse Brave Little Princes in their deck. So, look, and some of you guys might be laughing that would never happen. There are some crazy players out there. I mean, some of these Blurple deck guys. So, if you're not familiar, Blurple is Amethyst and Sapphire. That's combined. It's blue-purple called Blurple. There's some max rarity versions of that deck where you can have 4 of multiple enchanteds, like 4 of Dumbo enchanteds, 4 of Hades enchanteds. If you have that many of those cards, if you have those 8 cards, you're already at over 2,000. You add in all the other ones. I mean, it's like a $5,000 to $6,000 deck. So do not count out these crazy players, man. They will play with these iconics. And while it's, I would consider I love playing with enchanteds. This Mickey ain't touching a deck. I mean, this card belongs in a plastic case to be admired forever. But nevertheless, some of these players, they disagree and they'll play with it. So shout out to whoever the first player is that's running 4 iconic Mickeys in their deck. You crazy person. Okay, we also got some additional items and like item reveals and things like that since our last conversation. Tamatoa has continued to sell on that, so he had 72 the last couple of days. Before that, he had another 70. So we're over 140 copies sold, and there's down to 130 on the market in total. 74 different sellers. Price really starting to get up there. 22 is the floor, but I was looking, we're like 6 copies away from $30. So card is definitely starting to escalate here pretty quickly. Awesome card, one of the best enchanteds in the game. Let's actually take a look at the enchanted here really quick. If I could type, I think I saw that it was back up over 200, which I wouldn't be surprised. 205, yep. So a little bit of a climb, not much. Still one of the best, well-designed enchanteds. I need to get that. I've got it in a case upstairs. I need to get it out so I can show it on camera some more. One of my favorite enchanteds ever. Just a great card there. All right, another card. Seeing some sales here off the back of some of the item releases. Scrooge McDuck, Resourceful Miser. We are at 65 copies of this card sold since the release yesterday. Lowest on the market's up to about $8. This was down at around $4. I mentioned yesterday that I bought a few copies of this card because I think it's going to do really well here into the future. And we are just a few copies away from up to a $10 floor here. Not a lot of multiple listings for this particular card, but still 281 on the market, 146 current sellers, and the current median listing is $14.08. So there's a lot of releases happening today. There's a lot of reveals happening every couple minutes. A new one's coming out. So this is going to continue to just kind of shake up the meta. There's going to be price swings like crazy. And once again, this is the fun of, Lorcana specifically. And I'm sure this happens in Magic to a certain degree, right? But I'm not familiar with Magic. But it's not something that you get in Pokemon, or you have this volatility in this pure entertainment off of these reveals, because so many players are playing the game, right? And so many people need these game pieces, whether it's the Tamatoa, the Mickey Mouse, Scrooge, whatever, you name it. As these new cards are released, it completely shifts the current landscape of the game. Right now, the game is a very aggressive format. You pretty much you're racing to the finish line as soon as the game starts, and whoever gets there first wins. Previous iterations of the game were a much more longer, drawn-out game. It was kind of trading back and forth and just trying to kind of get to the finish line. It's not really a race. It's more establishing the board, things like that. And it, just in terms of my opinion, it looks like we're transitioning back to that kind of late game format, which I definitely prefer as a player, but I'm very much a casual player. How, these guys go to these set championships and these big tournaments and they're willing to sell these cards for as cheap as they are. Like, that's going to keep me in the collector space for a really long time, because I guess we'll talk about this for a little bit here. These set champs cards, I talk about them all the time, right? these, and I'll show them just on the screen for anyone who's not familiar. If you go to Disney Lorcana and you're on the, or here, we'll just go shop all Disney Lorcana, you go to set, Disney Lorcana promo cards, obviously my favorite tab to hang out at. But you see this stitch here, it says Store Championship. So this is a tournament that happens every 3 months at pretty much every LGS that supports Disney Lorcana. There's probably been 7 thus far, give or take. You'll see the second one here is the Ursula, and then there's many others. The current one is the Maleficent Monstrous Dragon, currently sitting at $52. But you go to some of these other ones, you can see the Hero Hamada 17, Mirabelle 20, Jafar 21, Scar 24. These players, they probably competed on average, I would say, against like 15 to 20 people. Every person paid $20 to play in the tournament. There were 8 of them were given out at each store, and then people are selling them in some cases, like the Hero, for $17. They're not even getting what they paid to play in the tournament. They competed against all these people. They probably had to play for anywhere between 5 to 8 hours, right? Now, have to play. It's fun. That's what we do. But at the end of the day, they're selling it for less than their entry fee. So like me, as someone who mainly collects Lorcana, but definitely enjoys the game, played the game a ton, played in a ton of set championships, I'm like, all right, well, I'll just spend that, 8 hours with my family and pay the $17 for the card. Like, that's just like a no-brainer to me. Like for $2 an hour to be away from the family, right, for that long, like just, it's not worth it. So, I'm going to continue to buy these cards. I think they're some of the most undervalued cards in the trading card game, ecosystem. But at the end of the day, there's a world where, the game never takes off. People don't care about these old set champs, or, the game has already taken off. It doesn't have this, compound growth factor that I feel like is coming. And, they never appreciate. But $17 for a card that you had to pay $20 to enter to even get a chance to win, and you had to beat all these people to get it. Like, you players, you gotta quit having such paper hands, man. These cards you got are special. They mean something, right? They tell a story. They're an accomplishment. Don't sell them for less than you paid to get in the door. Just doesn't make any sense to me. But that's not what today's video is about. It's about all these crazy, shakeups in the market. So nevertheless, keep your eyes peeled. There's going to be cards going crazy all weekend. And over the next couple weeks, as we get more and more reveals, we're going to continue to see cards up and down and go sideways and go crazy. And look, and there's, as these cards like Tamatoa come back into the fold, or as, Mickey Mouse, Brave Little Prince begins to break out, that means other cards are going to be coming down, right? And so you have to kind of play the game of like, all right, well, these cards are probably coming down. If you want to sell them, you can. When I have my playable cards, I typically lean towards just like I get my play set and I set them aside. And that's typically what I've done in the past. There's a few that I might sell and just not worry about having a play set. But I've changed in my journey where I've always been a collector. I began playing the game very heavily. And so I got my play sets of all my cards, and I have, binders full of every card that's ever came out. And I've got a play set of them, not every card, but the playable cards. But now I'm transitioning more back to the collector, but I still want to play the game, right? Like this meta that's coming out with set 10, Whispers in the Well, it's definitely piqued my interest, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm probably going to lean back more into playing a little bit, but I'll always be a collector first. That's just who I am. That's where I get the most enjoyment out of the game. But I'm excited for a new meta and something maybe that calls me back to the game, because for set 9, it was not the case, right? Just plain and simple. Not something that interested me, but I did want to take a look at the first chapter here, because we're kind of at a stopping point in terms of the growth. So obviously it shot up here, up and to the right. We've been at 330 for a booster box for some time here, and the sales have definitely slowed. So at the point where we were selling like kind of 5 to 10 a day there for a while, we're still selling a couple, right? Like 2 days ago there was one sale. Yesterday there was one sale. Today there's one sale. But that's going to happen anytime you hit these new price kind of thresholds, right? So I think we're going to be at 330, 350 for a while here, because people are going to continue to come in and take profits. Like Astral Trading, they've got 11 boxes available. People are going to continue to come in and undercut this listing because they see the high quantity. So I think we're going to be here for a while. So if you've been in the market for a first chapter box, I don't see it necessarily regressing back down to like 220 or anything like that, like it was. But I do think you're in a fine spot to grab it now. I think you're pretty secure at that price. And then for a case, case, this is another one that's expedited here back up to 2,000. So anytime a box comes in, or a case rather comes in around that $1,500 price point, even most recent sale at 1,600, they've been purchased. So if you're in the market for a case specifically, I would go out on eBay and throw out some offers around 1,500, 1,600 and see if you can get one. I would probably avoid the $2,000 price point because, once again, we've got quite a few. I say quite a few. There's 6 available, it looks like, at that price. And so I believe we're going to be very similar between the first chapter booster box, first chapter booster box case. I think they've kind of seen their growth that they're going to see here in the short term, and I think we're going to go sideways for a little bit on both of those, which means if you're in the market for them and you're going to be around for a while, and you look at the game and through a similar lens that I do, then it's probably a good time to get off the sideline and go out and purchase them, assuming you're willing to take that risk and invest a lot of money in this shiny cardboard that we all love and admire. So that is it for today's video. Very, very exciting time in the Lorcana world. I'm just fired up. I'm fired up. Go get you a brave little prince. Put 4 of them in your deck. Go to a DLC and show off how cool you are and how rich you are with 4 of these in your deck. Right? That'd be the play. So whoever's doing that, I can't wait to see it. With that being said, guys, everyone have a great weekend. I will talk to you later. Goodbye.